的苏允恩，二郎神。
Once upon a time, the second son of a family became a god, so he was called the second son god. Sun Wukong flew all his way to the heaven and raised a harem to the celestial palace, consecutively fought a number of mighty gods with astonishing power and abilities. The Sun Wukong vs. Erlangshen fight was the most relished duel between deities in 西游记. Erlangshen was originated from Chinese folklore in Tang Dynasty. A divine third eye to his forehead, Erlangshen is in charge of a wide range of duties: god of thunder, god of hunting, god of chuju, god of drama. While these are the names given by ordinary people of the ancient China, he's been given more honorific titles by Taoism. Next video, I'll dig into the untold origins of Erlangshen. Generally speaking, the images of immortals in myth were integrations of multiple legendary figures in different periods, and the Erlangshen was also no different. According to China's folklore and legends, the origins of Erlangshen are concluded as follows. Erlang, a Buddhist celestial warrior in Tang Dynasty. Zhao Yu, a flood-controlling prefect secularized by Taoist disciples after Erlang. Erlang, who quickly took praise of Zhao Yu, became the more popular god of Guankou. Yang, the most well-known famous three-eyed god since the presence of classics by the hands of numerous novelists in the Ming and Qing dynasty. When it comes to the original image of Erlangshen, it is going to blow your mind. The earliest Erlangshen image was a deity called Erlang, who appeared in the early Tang Dynasty. Erlang is the second son of heavenly king Bishaman, who is also known as the Duowen Tianwang, who I introduced in this video talking about the Sida Tianwang of the China's mythology. Naja is the third son of Bishaman, Erlang is the second. So Erlang is the Naja's second elder brother. As for the first son, according to tantric records, he was the prince called Sheng, who was also the patron saint of Buddhism and the god of war. He was said to have 4 faces and 8 arms, but apart from that, not so much do we know about him. When the Shiming started to fight with his father, a god who called himself Bishaman King came down in front of the house and expressed his willingness to assist the Shiming in raising the army. Therefore, after Emperor Taizong ascended the throne, the belief of Bishaman King was promoted nationwide. As the second son of the heavenly king Bishaman, Dujian was righteously on the list as well. However, Dujian was not the second generation of gods who made no contributions. According to legend, when the Anxi, official of urban security of the Tang Dynasty, was attacked by the allied forces of the 5 western regions, Dujian descended to the battle wearing golden armor, a crown with beads, holding a bow and arrows to force the united armies of the 5 western regions to retreat. His warfare granted him a glamorous reputation. So in the Tang Dynasty, temples were set up in many places only for Erlang. As the only thing that doesn't change is change itself. Many years later, people's faith in foreign gods has shifted. In China, heavenly king Bishaman was no longer mainstream. Not only the Erlangshen brothers' origins were changed, but also Bishaman, the heavenly king of Asian Hinduism, was redefined and worshipped in a brand new image of Duowen Tianwang, along with other 3 heavenly kings as local Buddhism willed it. After the appearance of Erlang, who represented Buddhism, Taoism was not to be outdone. Since then, the Taoist disciples in Sichuan transformed Zhao Yu, who killed the Jiaolong, and it was Jiaolong, leader of all aquatic animals, and controlled the flood, into a Taoist god. According to Taoist literature records, Zhao Yu, whose nickname was Zhongming, once lived in a mountain with his brother, and followed Taoist priest Li Yu. At the late years of the Sui dynasty, Zhao Yu became prefect of Jiazhou. The locals reported there was an evil Jiaolong haunting the area. Disregarding personal safety, he entered the water to fight the Jiaolong and finally returned victorious. Zhao Yu was also known as Zhao Erlang, for he was the second son of his family. Compared with Dujian Erlang's forcing the western region's coalition army to retreat, Zhao Yu's killing the evil Jiaolong was more empathetic to the local people of Sichuan and Shu area, who had constantly suffered from floodings. Therefore, although Zhao Erlang's worship was basically limited to Sichuan and Shu area, he had more fundamental advantages among the locals. Judging from the heroic deeds of Du Jian and Zhao Yu, the two had obvious commonalities in image. Not long after Zhao Erlang's legend was widely spread in Sichuan and Shu area, Li Erlang, who was more famous, overshadowed his limelight and became a popular erlang god of Guankou in Sichuan and Shu. The so-called Li Erlang refers to Li Bing's second son, Erlang. Needless to say, Li Bing built Dujiangyan in Shu during early Qin dynasty, benefiting the surrounding people ever since till now. Legend has it that Li Erlang was smart and brave. Not only did he slay the Jiaolong, but also assisted his father Li Bing in building Dujiangyan. However, there was no official record of Li Bing's second son in the historical books. Since the belief of Li Erlang was only spread in the late period of Tang and the Five Dynasties, it can be seen that Li Erlang's image was based on the two erlangshen that we mentioned earlier combined and absorbed Li Bing's legends. 冠志文征 Scroll 5 Li Gong Fu Zi Zhi Sui Ji stated, "He who is at the age when a man is the most gorgeous has a preference for hunting. His look, elegantly handsome. Servants of him lead an eagle and a dog." The aesthetic image of Li Erlang is exactly the same as the previous Erlang mentioned earlier. In Song Dynasty, there were records of an eunuch Yang Jian turned into a toad, and eunuch Yang Jian investigating a case in Erlangshen Temple. Later on, novelists of Ming and Qing dynasty combined Yang Jian, who could transform with the erlangshen. With constant narratives of popular literatures, Yang Jian became the most authentic erlangshen. According to legends, Yang Jian was the son of mortal and immortal. With a fairy marrying to a normal human man, they gave birth to a half-human semi-god Yang Jian. Yang Jian's mother was punished by Yu Di, the Jade Emperor of Celestial Palace, for falling in love at all. Yang Jian transcended his half-human entirely to be an utter god. At the end of Fengshen Yanyi, his body of flesh was sublimated to be the body of sacredness, and was universally acknowledged to be the most powerful warrior of the Celestial Palace. Another theory says that the Qiangdi tribe leader Yang Nandang of the South and North dynasties was the original image of Erlangshen. The Qiangdi tribe expanded their territory northward until it reached the Qin region. When he became the king, he expanded the force of the tribe even more. He led his army to conquer the surrounding countries and ambitiously proclaimed himself the Grand King of Qin dynasty. Later, he was treated the #1 hero of the Qiangdi tribe. In the Ming and Qing dynasties, the image of Yang Nandang was gradually combined with other Erlangshen in Sichuan and Shu. And finally, the image of Erlangshen Yang Jian was created. During Song Dynasty, Dujian Erlang, Zhao Erlang, Li Erlang, Yang Jian, and Yang Nandang legends were respectively spread independently in the Sichuan and Shu regions and their surrounding areas. Throughout the Yuan, Ming, and Qing dynasties, these messy, complicated Erlangshen legends became the source of inspiration for novelists and playwrights at that era. Being accompanied by Xiao Tianquan, the sky-burrowing dog, with the tradition of slaughtering sheep as sacrificial rituals, we can tell that Erlangshen in later generations somehow inherited genes of the hunter god of ethnic minorities. In Yuan dynasty, there are many books about Erlangshen, such as Guankou Erlang chopping the Jiaolong, Erlangshen drunkenly shooting the evil lucky mirror, etc. But the protagonist of these legends was Zhao Yu. It was not until the appearance of Ji and Fengshen Yanyi that the image of Erlangshen equaling to Yang Jian was confirmed. In conclusion, Erlang does not represent the ranking of brothers, but the result of repeated narration and evolution of a series of historical discourses. Therefore, erlangshen not only refers to Yangjian, but several legendary images. Thanks to 西游记 and 封神演义, Yangjian has become the most famous erlangshen. You can say that there are not only one but several erlangshen in China's history and legends, while believing there is only one rightful erlangshen, Yangjian, who integrates the characteristics of his predecessors. It is purely a matter of faith, whether you've chosen to believe what it is or else. Myth is just the way you had it in your mind, because mythologies are never supposed to be explained in a sole theory or perspective. The Chinese worship of gods since ancient times reflects a romantic complex of the Chinese nation. We worship the supreme gods, pray for the omnipotent deities to relieve our worries. The ancients paint this romance, worship, and affection for gods in myth and legends, which has been passed down to present time. In thousands of years' time, the complex has been merged into the diversity of the colorful Chinese culture, and has affected thousands and thousands of Chinese people in a subtle manner. This is the origins and the identity complexities of one of the most respected god, erlangshen. Now you might be more familiar with the popular three-eyed god of China. I hope this video really helped you. Next time, I'm going to be talking about the various erlangshen's unique weapons that are imaginative and interesting. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe. Stay tuned at Don't Be Serious for more Chinese urban legends and Chinese mythology stories. Until then, I will see you in the myth.